Well, hello and happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday's Q&A. Every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So definitely look if you are, it's 6 p.m. Pacific. It is 7 Central. It is 8 Eastern, I believe, is where we go into and play. My name is Tracy A. Martin. I'm a hypnotherapist practitioner, life guide intuitive, and whole life practitioner. And I'm here to help you understand about all the amazingness about our three products, of course, called Trio. Welcome, everyone that is on this call. I want you to hopefully have enough goods and information tonight that you can make an informed decision to realize why. Many of us understand why and why that we invest 100% in our health, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So tonight we're going to start off and I'm going to show you the brand levels. And this is our number one product called Restore. Beautiful packaging, as you can see. And you can see on the side it has a number one. And this is the very first part of our trio. The second part is number two, and it's called Revive. Again, absolute beautiful packaging. Both of these are powders that are put into water. The first one that we'll talk the most about tonight, but also the third one, which is Rejuvenate. And as you can see, it has a number on it, number three, Rejuvenate, and it is a midday pill. And what happens with all three is Restore is our nighttime drink, and it's to be put into 250 mils of hot water. It is one full scoop. Again, you're going to be learning that if you're new to this and that you are worried on any level or very, very sensitive, you can always start off with half a scoop. We know that for children, they can actually use it as well, and you would be only giving them a quarter scoop at night. And we're finding some amazing results with people with hypersensitivity, hyperactivity, ADHD, mental disruptions, anyone who's suffered from seizures, especially because you're going to get into the goods about this product tonight. Restore, you put, like I said, a scoop into your drink. You make sure that you are by your bed because it is going to, within 10 to 15 minutes, it's going to start taking you into a relaxed, calmer state, ready to go to sleep. This is super important because the ingredients within Restore, if you stay up past that time, it's going to make you very focused, just very relaxed. And so it will still take you a bit to get back into the rhythm of just going to sleep. And so use this as a nighttime aid in getting your nervous system into the calm state to go into many different states of your sleep cycle. You wake up in the morning. And some of you right away start feeling refreshed right off the bat. Some of you may have a 1 or 2 week process where you are feeling a little sedated first thing in the morning, just super, super calm. And then it starts moving you into that place of, okay, I'm good to go. So then what happens is we see Revive. It's a powder and it's a morning drink. And there's a scoop in there that most people do a full scoop into a glass of water. 355 mils is optimum. Some of you are filling your whole water bottle full, and that's fine as well. And so that helps immensely with all of that. You're going to make sure you shake it up really good. Some of you have, and I'm so proud of you all, that you've decided not to drink brewed coffee anymore because this is replaced to your morning drink. So many of you drink it like you would a coffee and it's done. Some of us sip it throughout the day. I myself can only have about half a scoop because of all the crazy good ingredients in it. I'm already full of energy to begin with. So then it makes me over energized. Again, less means more with all of this because we're working with micronutrients. So midday is when we come into beautiful, beautiful Rejuvenate. Midday pill, the reason it's midday is because you want to make sure that you have 8 hours from the time you take it before you're going to be going to sleep. And this is why it's super important for you to understand, because if not, it will impede on you being able to relax and go to sleep on time. All of these three products are by design and they all piggyback off each other synergistically because they completely are feeding your systems at the right times to not only take care of what you've created in your nighttime, but to continue it on 24 hours throughout the day and then pack you full of phenomenal nutrients so that when you go back into your sleep time, it has all these nutrients to restore cellularly, muscularly, every system in your body. So, what we're going to be doing is talking tonight specifically about Restore. You can ask the person who's invited you to come for the other videos as well that are being recorded on each one of these products specifically so we can get into the ingredients for you. So, inside the ingredients on Restore, and letting you know that Restore is all about activating that deep sleep recovery. It's about unlocking your body's most powerful repair phase. And with Trio, why we call it Restore, because it's literally restoring, rewiring, repairing, and regrowing all of these things in your sleep mode. Now, this is an advanced formula that supports healthy REM, or rapid eye movement, all these different cycles, not just the REM cycles, but like I have said, all the different brainwave cycles from light sleep into mediocre sleep, deep, deep sleep, catatonic sleep, out cold sleep, dream state, and in between, because this is all where the different stages of our processing is of creating, of repairing, rejuvenating, and so on within our sleep. This is also what has been known to fuel natural hormone production, and it's the body's recovery and cognitive renewal process. We wake up refreshed, recharged, and ready for your day. There's over 63,000 studies on sleep alone, and many of you have been absolutely saying, none of us have been getting that sleep. And it's because you have been in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, continual survival. And when that happens, your nervous system can never calm down. And the moment we can get to a state of calm, that is when the nervous system starts to talk to the fascia. The fascia is the supercomputer of your body. It's talking all the time. But if your nervous system can't be calm enough to hear it, it cannot send messengers of where it needs to go. So the first thing in the products that we see on the back of the package, as you will see, and it's on the back of the website as well, is you'll see that there is magnesium citrate, there is thiamine, which is also known as vitamin B1. Then we have cowboy's grave. We have gamma, or what we call gamma butyric acid, which is always known as GABA. And we have L5, excuse me, hydroxytryptophan, which is also what you know as 5-HTP. And then we have all of our flavoring, which is hazelnut flavored. We have cocoa powder, and we have steviol glycerids. And so it is used a stevia base of a sugar so that anyone with diabetic type issues or insulin resistant issues does not have a reaction. So let's get into what is magnesium citrate. Did you know that there's over 12 different types of magnesiums alone? Did you know? And I would love you to do research. And I would love you to research, why do we need minerals in order to absorb nutrients? And this is the biggest reason of why in Restore we have magnesium citrate, because this is where all the goods comes in. Magnesium citrate helps draw water into the intestines, so it gives us better bowels for bowel movements. It regulates blood sugar and blood pressure. It produces energy. It maintains nerve and muscle function, which is what is needed in our nighttime. It improves your heart health. Again, blood sugar regulation, you're going to see is a massive theme in all of these three products, along with massive heart health and great sleep quality, which helps get you into a dreamy state. The next on our list is thiamine, which is B1. And thiamine is what most people are actually deficient in, and it has everything to do with growth and function of various cells within the body. And it has everything to do with brain function. And that's why many people are depleted in their B vitamin complexes. And it also helps with heart function. So now, as we start getting into the goods, we get into what was called Cowboy's Grave. Cowboy's Grave is also called Tumbro Vaquero, Imopia stans. There are many different names for it, but we're going to call it what it is at a Cowboy's Grave. And this is mostly known in the Asiatic and Mexican states and have been used forever because of how phenomenal not only the bark extract and the root is. And this is a great treatment that has been used for Huntington's disease, which is what we call the dancing sickness. It is known to help with kidney ailments, with epilepsy specifically, for movement disorders like tremors, Parkinson's, MS. It's an anticonvulsant for convulsion. It is a neuroprotector, which is phenomenal for the brain's factors and for nervous disorders. It's a natural sedative. It has been used throughout centuries for menstrual cramps, for headaches, for nephritis, for bone pain, specifically because it helps induce bone marrow to repair. It's been known to help with dysentery or severe purging caused from parasite, and also known for dizziness. And there's a lot of people that have been dealing with dizziness and what they think is tinnitus, which is also vertigo. Now, it is also an anti-proliferatory, which means it slows down cell division. It is also known as an antibiotic in the fact that it does go after the wrong bacteria and parasites. So it's actually anti-parasitic. Now, why Tumber Vaquero? Because when they were creating Restore and they realized that the sleep process was an issue, they had realized that one thing on its own wasn't working. But when they started to combine certain ingredients, that's when they realized we've got magic. And this has everything to do with one of my favorite parts of the ingredients on Restore called GABA, which is aminobutyric acid gamma. And it's an inhibitory neurotransmitter. Say that 10 times fast, which means it actually slows down the signal in your nervous system and the brain to the spinal cord. So any of you that have been living in chaos, who have hypersensitivity, hyperactivity, this is what's used to slow down the process from the right brain to the left brain and be able to talk. And that's why people with mental disruptions like autism and any kind of mental disorders, ADHD, all Asperger's, we're talking the whole range, is the moment it slows down the process, you can now understand the thought process and get it out into a new place. So it is, like I said, it's an inhibitory neurotransmitter. So it slows down the messengers in the brain by blocking specific signals into the nervous system within the spinal cord as well, which is fantastic with MS, all those as well. It's a calming effect, plays a major role in hyperactivity to slow down. It's a non-protein amino acid neurotransmitter. And you're going to learn that there's a ton of absolute real protein amino acids in all of our spectrums as well. It reduces stress, it relieves nervousness, and also improves sleep. So now we have two ingredients that are our beautiful Cowboy's Grave that is about helping with sleep. We now have GABA helping with sleep. We have magnesium citrate and thiamine that helps with sleep. Do you get it now? How by piggybacking the synergy, we start creating the true effect to help calm the nervous system and put you into a sedated place. GABA is actually naturally made out of glutamate. and it works synergistically with serotonin, our happy place. Now, why is it that interesting that GABA and 5-HTP are synergistically put together? Why do you say by the scientists we have? Because guess what? They feed off each other. GABA actually synergistically works with serotonin because it helps with autism, nervousness, mood disorders, schizophrenia, depression, epilepsy, seizures, hepatic encephalopathy, which is brain disease, which is unable to remove toxins from the blood. And this causes confusion. And this is happening to many people because of the attacks on the brain. For dystonia, for spasticity, involuntary movements like tremors, hypersomnia, and daytime sleepiness. And there's a lot of people out there that have complained about how, why am I tired during the day and wide awake at night? And it's because this has been happening to many people. So now we get into the goods of L5 hydroxytryptophan, which is known as 5-HTP. Now, this is a precursor of the neurotransmitter serotonin. So this is what's helping create your serotonin. Okay, it's clinical in mood, sleep, and appetite studies. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, which helps take out the heavy metals out of the blood-brain barrier, which is the cause of many of the disruptions. It increases serotonin. It's an antioxidant. It's an immune system enhancement. It's fantastic for pain relief and also for weight management. Not meaning weight loss. And weight management means because there's many of you that are underweight. There's some of you overweight, and it starts to maintain healthy weight management. It's fantastic for sleep quality, not quantity. Sleep quality, not quantity. Okay. And it's converting serotonin to melatonin for a healthy sleep. This is why it's so important. And my husband always jokes at me because I have to have my room super dark. It has to be dark. I can't have an LED light on. I can't have anything on. And he's always, well, that's what eyelids are for. And I'm like, I create such amazing melatonin and serotonin because my eyelids know the moment there's light and it knows it's supposed to be awake. And that's how we know how serotonin and melatonin work in the world. But this also helps create that melatonin for real sleep cycles. So now what happens after that is we have all these products that are synergistically put together. They are the least amount of ingredients you're going to find from all three of the products, but they are so powerful in its own that they know exactly how to get you into those calm states so that your natural body's process knows exactly how to go into the sleep process. Let's get into sleep. All of you believe that you need to be knockout cold in order to have actually had a restful sleep. And we're here to tell you that's why those REM states are so important. But more than that, in that it's not just the REM state. They're all different brainwave levels from beta, which we're talking unconsciously, going into alpha state, which is your daydream state that most of you feel during the day where you're just about to fall asleep. You hear the furnace kicking in, but you kind of have a dream coming on. And then you're going to go through your first waves of your sleep cycles. These products were created specifically to put you through 4 sleep cycles of your REM in the night. But we haven't even talked about the deep sleep cycles where you have no remembrance and come back through. Each one of these cycles are so important, and they have everything to do with metabolism, with being able to turn on the pituitary and the hypothalamus, which is where we create our HGH or growth hormone from. But we also create LSH, which is our luteinizing hormone. We create our testosterone. We create our FSH, which is our fertility This is all what happens in that space. When we have glandular activation happen because of turning on these glands, now we create proper hormones. And this is where hormone balance starts to naturally come back in. And many people believe horse before the cart or the cart before the horse, because many of you have been taught I have menopause, I have perimenopause, and that is a medical term that's actually a lie. There's many women in the world that never ever go into decline and go through any of these. And this has to do with a chaotic, stressful environment, which most of the world has been put into. And because you have an awful diet of what you eat, or what we decide is what's really not food and you've just been eating filler. And this has everything to do with the body starving. When you are in a place of starvation, then everything starts to deplete from the body. Why do we have minerals within these ingredients? Specifically, so that everything that you're drinking in that nighttime drink actually absorbs into the body nice and deeply. All three of these products, you're going to see specific amounts of minerals on purpose, because I will say it and say it and say it till you get it, that we are our minerals and we are our amino acids. And the only thing that we don't have in the spectrum of the three is our saturated fats that we need, which also helps to feed it through the body. And that's why adding cream, real cream, or butter to your actual sleep drink is even more phenomenal and is fantastic because it gives you the proper good cholesterol so that it feeds your brain. And so, what is REM about? REM is rapid eye movement, and it gives you heightened brain activity. It gives you the eyelids that are moving when they're closed, and that's where you watch the eyes moving back and forth. You've watched people do it when they're sleeping. And this lasts usually for a few minutes for the first one. Every time we move into the next state of REM, they get longer and longer in those states, which creates more and more repair. It's known for the vivid dreaming stage, which is actually in our alpha to theta stage. It's for emotional regulation. It is for brain development. It's for memory and learning, for increased blood flow, for your heart rate. And during REM, it actually will bring it up higher in order to be starting to be in the active part of your brain cycle. And it's for deeper breathing. And so, what happens when it's not in that REM stage? We have all the activating of our glands that are going on. And now, because we start up here, it starts to talk to the next thing, which is our thyroid. Now we start having thyroid health. And then the thyroid starts talking to the rest, which is talking to the thymus. And the thymus is your higher heart. And actually, this is where you think here is where you need to have your intuition come from. Guess what? Your thymus is what's activated and helps bring through your higher intuition and your higher mind. And this has everything to do with heart as well, as you will learn that when we have the activation of our glands, then our fascia lights right up like a beautiful grid. And that's why I call it firing up the grid. That happens when you're on all three of these products, because your fascia is the recording system and it knows before anything even hits into the physical body, emotionally and mentally, what already is going on. If you are in such a place of influx or stress, and your nervous system cannot alert and keep your glands working, guess what happens? Then your fascia doesn't get to talk to all those places because they've been shut down. Your fascia is what records every trauma, every memory, everything that's ever happened to you. One of the greatest things that happens when you start to activate off of Trio is it now knows where the super soldiers need to go to, saying, hey, you haven't been listening to me here. I need help over here. And that's what we call about you living in your kingdom. And there's things in the shadows that have been asking for help and has not been heard. So now your body starts to be able to talk through that activation, and the hormones know exactly what to produce for where, because the hormones from your gland activation now can talk to your organs and all of the systems in the body. And that's why it's so systemically important. Why it begins with restore is because in your deep, calm sleep state, your nervous system is now in cue and it knows exactly what to do. Easiest way to screw with someone is to screw with their nervous system. When the nervous system is not in the place of calm, that's where deficiency comes in, and that's where disease starts to play in. Why do we have so many people with immunity issues that we call AIDS or autoimmune deficiency? Is because number one, the body's been depleted from its minerals and its amino acids, specifically because we need a sat fat, a mineral, and we need our amino acids to actually recreate a cell. That's why this is the goods and is so important. So stay with me as you understand each week that we are on it, why we go into each of these beautiful things. Tonight was all about restore, of why I call it a nighttime drink. And then next week, we will be up again talking about revive because of why and what we do in the morning and what all the goods are there and the ingredients, why that piggyback off everything that was created, that your HGH has created, that your hormones that all turned on while they were a night at sleep going keeps you going and going and going like the energizer bunny that we are. And so this is going to wrap up a bit of fantastic information of why Restore is so important for you and will turn your life around. It will make you ageless, timeless, and absolutely feel the most youthful you ever will feel. And so I'm going to have you stop recording now so that we can get into the testimonial part of things.